My name is Lilly Pulitzer, and I was born in New York City. I never imagined that my life would take such a strange turn. It all started when I noticed a strange fungus growing on my skin. At first, I thought it was just a harmless rash, but it quickly spread and began to cover my entire body. As the fungus grew, I found myself unable to speak. Instead, my voice came out in bird-like sounds, like the chirping of a small sparrow. I was terrified and confused, unable to communicate with anyone around me. Desperate for help, I reached out to my sister through text message. I told her about my condition and asked her to come to my home. To my relief, she agreed to come right away. But as she arrived, something strange happened. My body began to break apart, and I let out a piercing scream that sounded like a bird in distress. Everything went dark, and I felt myself slipping away. When I woke up, I was no longer in my own body. Instead, I found myself in the form of a bird. My sister was there, looking at me with confusion and concern. She asked if I was lost, not realizing that I was actually her sister in a different form. I tried to speak, to tell her that it was me, Lilly, but all that came out were bird-like sounds. My sister smiled and called me a beautiful bird, not understanding the truth of my situation. As I struggled to come to terms with my new reality, I realized that I would have to find a way to communicate with my sister and find a way back to my human form. But for now, I was just a bird, lost in a world that I no longer recognized. My name is Roxy Raye McCoy, and I was born in Las Cruces. I never thought my life would take such a drastic turn, but here I am, facing a nightmare I never could have imagined. It all started with a strange fungus that appeared on my skin. At first, I thought it was just a harmless rash, but soon it began to spread, covering my body in papillomas. The worst part was that I couldn't talk. My voice sounded like a frog's croak, making it impossible for me to communicate with anyone. Desperate for help, I managed to type out a message to my sister on my phone. I told her that I didn't know what was happening to me and begged her to come to my home. As the days passed, my body continued to deteriorate, my bones breaking under the strain of whatever was happening to me. One night, I woke up in a body that wasn't my own. I was now a frog, staring up at my sister with wide, terrified eyes. She looked at me in shock, unable to comprehend what had happened to me. "Hi sis, I'm here," she said softly, reaching out to touch me. "What happened to you?" I could only croak in response, my heart breaking at the sight of my sister's tears. I may have been transformed into a frog, but I was still Roxy Raye McCoy, and I would do whatever it took to find a way back to my human form.